secrets of joint breaking with myself, Kevin O'Hagan. Before we get started, I'd like to explain a little bit about my background for those of you who may not know me. I've been involved in the world of martial arts and self-defense for some 30 years now. Within that time, I was trained in many different martial arts systems. I hold a 6-dan master's degree in combat jiu-jitsu, as well as first dan black belts in Japanese jiu-jitsu and Atemi jiu-jitsu. Within this time, I've trained many different people from different walks of life. Those at the high risk end scale of their job, for example, police, forces, security and bodyguard world, down to door supervisors, NHS frontline staff, business people who need to travel abroad to foreign parts, and indeed individuals and groups that want to know more about self-defense and jiu-jitsu. I hold regular classes on a weekly basis on these topics, and I've trained across the UK on the seminar front. Okay, I'd like to explain a little bit about the techniques that we're going to use on this DVD today. As I mentioned earlier on, my base art is jiu-jitsu, and jiu-jitsu is a complete system of martial arts. So it includes everything from striking, punching, kicking, to joint locks, joint breaks, throws, takedowns, grappling, wrestling, pressure points, weapons work. So it's a complete fighting system that can be used by everyone and anyone, regardless of who they are. The jiu-jitsu itself, its histories are steeped in mystery, right away back thousands of centuries ago, but most would agree that this art flourished on the battlefields of Japan, and it was the art of the fearsome samurai warrior. So when they lost their weapons or were disarmed, they used these unarmed combat techniques to finish the encounter. So jiu-jitsu was always a combative art. It was taught as a self-defense or warlike art rather than something for recreation. And when the feudal era of Japan ended, jiu-jitsu was frowned upon because it was no longer needed. And a lot of the schools broke up or went underground. But these techniques resurfaced again and have flourished throughout the centuries. In World War I, World War II, the British Commandos and the US Marines were using jiu-jitsu based techniques for their close quarter combat. Old-time wrestlers travelled to Japan and picked up the secrets of jiu-jitsu and brought it back to the wrestling ring, where they used many of these holds and immobilizations. Lots of government agencies and police forces have adapted jiu-jitsu based techniques for control and restraint techniques. And even in modern time, jiu-jitsu has resurfaced again in the no-holds-barred arena of cage fighting. And we've seen time and time again how effective it's been in this arena. So many of the techniques are going to come from the joint locking side. Kansatsu Jitsu was called joint control techniques, and Kotso Ho-Jitsu is joint breaking techniques, two different things. So depending on the level of threat that we're going to face, we can take somebody down and control and subdue them, or if we're facing a more dangerous threat, we can take it to the point where we'll use limb destruction and finish the fight.